The only way that you can support that rationale is the things that we used to do have worked forever and they will continue to work. They're the foundations of marketing, and as long as we adhere to those, and that's why I'm writing this book, which is essentially saying, if you adhere to all of those things that you were taught, that we learned in school, and you leave those as foundations in your business as the foundations of marketing, you will fail completely, 110%. Because every one of those foundations was created for a limited media environment. Now, let me explain what this is. A limited media environment was any point in time before March 22nd in 2007. Up to that point in time in history, the majority of all media and all noise was dominated by businesses. That was for one simple fact. It was limited. It was limited in creation, limited in distribution, and limited in consumption. Past that day in 2007, we entered what I call the infinite environment, where there are no barriers for people to create, consume, or distribute. There's not even barriers for things to create, consume, and distribute, right? I think we've failed to realize that if we're trying to break through this noise, what the noise actually is made of, and it's not made of the same things that it was back in the day when we created those practices. I mean, I'm giving half of my book away in this talk, but think about public relations. Let's just take this one foundation of marketing, public relations, and let's just demolish it, right? And if you demolish it, it's really easy, because if you actually read any of Edward Bernays' books, which I hope you guys do, one's called Crystallizing Public Opinion. If you read that book, in there, Edward Bernays specifically states, he says, this idea works because people like media and the ways that they're natively consuming it. They like ideas coming that way. And they accept these ideas when there is not the ability or inclination to go elsewhere for these answers or for that question. So what he's saying is, when there is no other way to ask the question, they will take what they are given.
Got it.
We don't live in that world. So if he even states that this practice works because it's a limited media environment, the moment the world enters the infinite environment and questions are free, easy, ubiquitous, and you get trusted answers in 0.38 seconds, that idea of that being a core foundation goes away, because people make decisions differently. They use the media differently. That's the whole idea of when I talk about media environment shifting decision-making models and shifting the foundations. We have to be responsive to that model. We can't say, oh, we have public relations and now this thing, social media, exists. So how do I make public relations work on social media?
It's a whole different,
you have to say,
it's
it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.